As you begin to recognize your ability, your inherent ability to observe, with a little practice, you're getting better and better and better at it very quickly. You're able to see the egoic identity and its behavior, and also to recognize and register that, but I'm in a state more of beingness. Okay? The practice doesn't mean that every day you get up at 8 o'clock and you do your practice. The practice comes in spontaneously as the challenge arises. You understand? When the mind stuff feels a bit noisy, immediately you remember, but wait a second, something wants to get involved, like a reflex. It's already going, yes, but I think I better do this and I better do that, and it becomes very noisy. But if you are observing, if you remember to observe, you have created some space around yourself. You're not pulled straight into a fight. You're able to, wait a second, just let it just play for a minute. You don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to close your ears. You can look at it. What is it saying? What is the mind insisting upon? What is this commentary about? But you've learned one thing, to observe this with detachment. And initially, it might feel, I can observe it, but I get quickly attached. And then I remind you, if you get quickly attached, is that not also observable? And you may say, yeah, it's just a bit more hard to do that. And that is your practice. That each time you stay with it, don't give up, you get better at it. You get better at it, and the better you get at it, the more you feel joy, the more you feel encouraged within your own being. You want to keep it up. You know you can beat it. You know you can transcend. And life is largely about transcending. You can call growing a kind of transcending, but now I'm talking about conscious transcending, meaning that a state like this, which you could have continued suffering from, quickly you begin to see from a deeper perspective within yourself, which is feeling more true than the more excited position, because you're feeling peaceful. You're not feeling pushed about or pressured by your own mind's projection. You feel stable and present. You see? Then I want to give another little example to help you as an image. And this I've used before in different sessions. We've talked about it. Can I share this one? It's only a minute or two.
I'll sit back down.
Yes, please. Okay. Let's imagine that you are looking, that there is a tree, and on a branch on this tree is a bird that's building a nest, and it's got babies in the nest, and it's flying off and getting food, worms and stuff, and coming back and feeding the little chicks and stuff and going. So I'm going to say that this bird who is building its nest and having its babies and flying off and finding food is going to represent for the moment our dynamic life. You are finding your career, you've studied, you've met your partner in life, you got married, you're building a home, you're having your children, you're finding your job. That bird represents that. It's okay for me? Okay. So that's the first bird, sitting on a branch, moving about, creating. And that bird represents your dynamic, active life of finding a job, growing, becoming more successful, and so on. On a branch, just above that one, sits another bird, looking just like the first bird. But this bird is not doing anything at all. It just quietly looks. It just quietly looks. From where he's sitting, he can see the first bird, busy, doing everything. But it's not building anything at all. It just quietly observes. It's not introverted. It's not locked up in its own mind. No, it can feel the breeze. It can see the sky. It can see other birds. It can see the first bird. This second bird represents your observing capacity to look without identifying. The second bird is not trying to help the first bird. It's not even interfering. It quietly observes. It's detached from first bird. It's simply observe. Can you relate to that image as the observing capacity within yourself? Hello? Yes. Thank you. Good, good, good. So, when I speak of observing, maybe this image of the second bird becomes kind of like a reminder, something useful. Okay? And I ask you, what is the environment of the second bird like internally? Let's go back to the first bird again. First bird, busy, busy, busy. If I don't do this, this will happen, blah, 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 blah. I've got mouths to feed, children to grow up, husband to get, and whatever, all this stuff. Imagine the inner environment of the first bird. What's it like? Happy? Stable? Not at all. Now look from second bird position. It quietly looks. Is the second bird lazy? No. It is observing. And by observing, it's not getting involved. It sees everything, but it's not trying to manipulate. There's a value in observing. And in observing, it also begins to emit a kind of perfume which is peaceful and content and silent and happy. It's aware of its own environment, not the projected, chaotic, dynamic field, which it is aware of it, but it's not logged into it. It is not identified with it. We have the capacity to perceive without identifying personally with what we perceive. It is a natural functioning in us. So the second bird quietly looks. Now, may I put this thing to you? The first bird and its activity, could we say that that is a functioning that we are observing? Maybe I asked the monkey as well, what is that about? Is it a functioning that you are observing? Yes. Okay. What about the second bird? The second bird quietly looks, it's aware, it observes, but it's very quiet. Is it a functioning also or not? Oh, nice. That is also a functioning. If that can be recognized, is there a third bird? Slow down. If even the second bird, and remember that its state is a peaceful one, it's more relaxed. We feel very happy and feel, whoa, I feel much more grounded in my life now, okay? And we are saying the second bird is also observable. Is that just a mental answer or is that an experiential seeing? If the second bird is also observable, and the second bird with its own environment, which is much more content, more relaxed, more open, less afraid, okay, is also observable, that place in which the second bird is observable, what is that environment like? Does it have an environment separate from itself? In the place, he says it's the pure eye. I'm not even going to give it a name right now because we don't need to. We're just looking. It is almost like a field of some... There's intelligence there or not? Yes, yes. Is it actively doing anything? Is it controlling second bird and first bird? No. Pay attention. Answer from here, not from here. Answer from here, okay? This third place, I'm not going to call it a bird at all, okay? Is it dead? can I ask you about this place? I'm taking a risk now. I wonder if it's possible. I wonder if it's possible to see how far you can go. Should I carry on? Looking from, we've seen the first bird. We know first bird in our life. Okay? We maybe have lived the first bird for a lot of our life. But I've introduced a second bird position of just observing, but not identifying, just observing. And even if there's an itch to go to first bird and to solve first bird, that is also observable without identifying. Then I ask you, don't tell me what you see out there. How are you in here? You say more peaceful, more spacious, softer, less afraid. Did you create that, or do you discover that? You are discovering that. Now I ask if even that state, as pleasant as it is, as spacious as it is wonderful as it is this state also observable? And you say, yes. Then I say, being in the place where even the second bird is observable, did you travel to this place? No. From this place, the second bird and its environment is also experienced, but even there you don't identify now. Now you're in a deeper space now. Is it personal? This is my question. Is it personal? No. Do you have a shape there? Did you create this space? Are you fading now? Right. No. It's here. Now, you are discovering this space now. But where has it been all your life? It's been here. It's been here all your life. But you have not discovered it. May I ask you, you're discovering it now. Is it a disappointing discovery? Can I ask you also, you are directly experiencing and directly responding from that place. Okay? This, whatever it is, space, state, can it fade away? It's an unusual question. Can it fade away so that, for instance, you fell asleep and 10 hours later you wake up and it's gone? Oh my God, I've lost it. Can it be lost? Can it be lost? Is it an object that you're discovering? Is it an attitude? No. Now I'm going to ask you something more, okay? This that you are discovering, this dimension of being, was it born? You sure you can say that? Okay, I see some heads going, and I see a lot of heads going. Okay, so we're just gonna stay for a moment. I ask you, was it born? You said no. Those of you who said no, I ask you, can it die? You didn't have to do some research to answer these questions? Why? How can you answer questions like this? How is it possible that you can answer a question like this? Some people say, no, I don't know. No, I don't know if he was born or not. Okay? In order to be born, you have to have a shape. Is it a shape? No. What time is it there? Here it's 12:17. We got 13 minutes, I believe. Yeah. Okay? What time is it in this place? Timeless. So here we say 12:18, but here it's timeless. Where is here? This timeless place. Huh? Now. Is this a now of time? Like now and then? Or amazing. 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 Are we making this up? Can you see, just in the short space of time we have had together, have you made a fundamental discovery about yourself or not? Here in this place, can you have a problem? Okay, your answers are true. And because you didn't answer from your mind, you didn't say, well, let me think about it. As I spoke, you are giving bang, bang, bang. Why? Because your answers were not separate from you. Let's look at what may happen from here. The mind right now has got very little influence, the psychological mind, the personal mind. Can you agree? Yes. He's not molesting or torturing you from this place because you are established in your true place. But it's not over. The mind force will come back. And I'm telling you ahead of time that when the mind comes back, it will come with a sense like, but oh no, I've lost it. And you may forget that the feeling I've lost it is only a feeling and a thought and not a reality. Because the reflex, out of habit, you have thought like this thousands of times in the past and believed it. And you believed your thoughts into existence and they became your experience. But all the while, this is here. Here, in the place of the mind, everything is changing. I feel really great. Oh no, I feel terrible. It's boom, 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 boom. Here is a fluctuating state. But the place I'm pointing to, is it a changeful state? Does it come or go? No. It doesn't come or go. It's still. Is it dead? Is it boring? Because the Bible says boring. Okay? Who would it be speaking to? The idea you have of yourself, which for a while will keep coming into the picture. But the more you stay practicing and remembering, but I'm just look from here and not from here, again, your world becomes quiet and peaceful. It is as simple as this. It is as simple as this. But it will take little practice. A little practice, why? Because there is a habit, the momentum of habit creates a kind of reflex in your system that makes you quickly go back into identification, so to speak. But that is what you imagine, not what you are. And as you begin to check in more, get used to checking back, observing more, you are becoming naturally convinced that this is your true place, is where you are happiest. And not happy about, just happy, peaceful, open, unafraid. Some people are afraid of not only death, but even of life itself. But now, resting in the place that you have discovered, I did not give that to you. It's always been there. You are discovering, not creating. And that is the key, because if you have to create, you have to keep on creating. But if you discover something, it means that it was already there. And now you are aware of it. You will follow. So when the mind comes back, the tendency would just say, oh no, man, I wish, oh no, I've lost it and so on. And you are not to believe that. Let it play. But my blessing, if I can say that today, is may the seed of this knowing and recognition continue to blossom within you, so that you keep on recognizing your true place, and to that extent becoming much more stable, more calm, more open, less afraid, more universal in your expression, and less constricted and dense as the person is.